Regardless of everything else surrounding what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? Everything else connected to it, associated with it. At the end of the day, this is now a criminal case where prosecutors and investigators have to put together evidence to prove it beyond any and all reasonable doubt. No different than any other case. The law doesn't change because of who the victim is, the circumstances surrounding it. At the end of the day, it is still a case. And this is now a case, it appears, with a confession, an admission by the defendant. The Washington Post is reporting that they have screenshots, that they have seen it, and they've spoken to more than one individual who was inside the Discord chat with the suspect 2 hours prior to his surrender after the assassination, admitting to them that he did it. This is an enormous piece of potential evidence in the case. Now, I know what your first, response might be, well, it's not a confession to police. No, it's not a confession to law enforcement. It's not an admission to law enforcement. But this may, in fact, be more powerful than an admission to law enforcement. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain how it's going to make its way into the case, where we are, what's next, what to expect, because tomorrow is another big day. It's the day when we expect the official charges to be put forth, and I believe there will be more information coming from prosecutors and the governor in a press conference tomorrow. But tonight, the Washington Post is reporting that he admitted to it in a Discord chat, which is, it's just social media communications app, that he did it. I'm Vinny Politan, lead anchor for Court TV, live on television every night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. 2 hours of live true crime, only guy in the business doing it. This is one of the stories, obviously, we'll be covering tonight at 8 o'clock. But in between, when I have time, I live stream right here. This is Vinny Live.
Get ready, get set, let's go.
It's true crime, streaming live, worldwide. It's Vinny Live. It's true crime, streaming live, worldwide. It's Vinny Live. Get ready. So post inside the chat. Get ready for the prosecutor hat. Get set. To like and to subscribe, let's go. It's time for Vinny Live.
Great to have you here on Vinny Live. And this is a major, major development. The reporting coming from the Washington Post, it's not just what they say people have told them. They say they have screenshots of the actual conversation. This is admissible evidence, okay? This is admissible evidence. Just because it's not to law enforcement does not make it not. As a matter of fact, it's easier to get it in when it's not to law enforcement. Law enforcement, you're a suspect, your Miranda rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you make an admission to anyone, it is admissible. Unless if it's one of the clergy, your lawyer, right? Under those circumstances, it's not necessarily admissible, okay? But you admit what you did to someone, it comes in. And the question is, how does it come in? What weight does it have? What will a jury do with it? That's all well and good, but you're going to have, in this case, and I think this is as close to a video recorded confession as you can have. If the Washington Post reporting is accurate, and we have no reason to believe it's not, they say they have, screenshots of this conversation. If you've got the defendant in the conversation under his account communicating, and you'll be able to, don't worry, you'll be able to go back on his phone or his computer, wherever he's communicating from, to kind of put that all together, right? To tie him to being the one who was behind the account, making this confession, making this admission. Right? It's like any other piece of evidence. You have to provide the foundation for it, for admissibility. You've got to, put together where it's coming from, how you got it, and authenticate it. But once you do that, which you can do, I mean, we watch cases every day on court TV where text messages and social media posts and communications are used as evidence in the case. It's a statement against admission. Yes, it is hearsay, but it falls under one of the exceptions of the hearsay rule, which would be a statement against interest by a party opponent. In this case, the defendant himself. That's why statements made by defendants come in without the defendant taking the stand, because it's an exception to the hearsay rule. Yes, it's an out-of-court statement. Yes, it's being entered for the truth of the matter asserted, which is, I did it. But not only is it seen by others in the chat, there's an actual digital footprint to it that can now be placed in front of a jury. Now, there's a whole lot of other evidence that we're talking about now. You're talking about the allegations that there's DNA on a screwdriver on the roof, DNA on a towel that was found with the alleged weapon that matches him. We're hearing that from the FBI. We've got video of his vehicle. We've got video of him in two different sets of clothing, walking in, walking out. We've got him inside. We've got him someone jumping off the roof and running away. We've got all of this evidence. And then the bow on the top is the confession that we're talking about, which is admitting it to someone else in whatever form. In this form, it is on the Discord app. So purported, my guess is it's coming from his phone into this chat with numerous other people. And a lot of what was being said in the Discord chat, to me, is huge in this case and is a big bucket of evidence that will be used against this defendant. And that kind of ties into everything that he's doing in his life, right? This is the app where we communicate, where we talk, and we either show off or communicate or exchange ideas about what we think, this, that, and the other thing. Well, what you post can and will be used against you. Like Discord, I think is kind of like WhatsApp. It's like a group communication where there's a certain limited number of people that are in this particular chat, and they're talking to one another, communicating with one another. And he's admitting it. And this is just before. And the substance of what he's saying matches what we've heard, where he's talking about the clergy member, et cetera. So this is a done deal in reality, right? It still has to go through everything. If in fact it's a depend case, and we should find out tomorrow, that's what they're saying all along. Obviously, it will be litigated. No one just voluntarily ends up on the row. So there's going to be a case. My guess is there's going to be a trial here. Unless they give him a deal. Unless he gets a deal. I can't imagine it, but maybe. So this is a rather large development in all of this. Otherwise, and I still think you're going to have theories out there don't want to use the C word, but other theories about what happened here. And the defense, if this goes to trial, may put some of them out there, like a man who immediately afterwards was admitting to it all. He was interviewed, he was let go. But I mean, you're going to have all the things you normally have. But the power of the this is what we call direct evidence. This isn't circumstantial. The DNA circumstantial, the ballistics circumstantial, tying him to the weapon circumstantial. There's a video of the crime, but I do not believe, a video of the person committing the crime, right? Because he's 400 feet away. So I don't think there's video of him actually, committing the crime. We see the crime being committed on Charlie Kirk. So yeah, that's direct evidence of what happened to Charlie Kirk, but it's not direct evidence of the charges or what will be the charges against the accused. This is direct evidence, a confession. So you can stand there in front of the jury and say, I have direct evidence and I've got a whole lot of circumstantial evidence, and all of it fits perfectly together. So ultimately, where I think he also did write a note. I see Jane is talking about a note here. That's more direct evidence, another admission in this note. The note, though, I think the note was somehow destroyed and they're trying to put it back together forensically. So that's another important piece of evidence, will be used, but I believe this will be stronger. Like if you're putting back together a handwritten note, that's one thing. Then you've got to authenticate where it came from, authenticate what it says, and then try to prove who wrote it. It's actually easier to prove who is posting something digitally because you can tie it to a machine, you can tie it to a location, you can tie it to a specific time. Then you've also got the context of everything else that's being discussed during this Discord conversation. But yeah, with the foundation and authentication, you are in great shape with this evidence. Yes, it is admissible. You've got to do what you do with every other piece of evidence. But that does not appear to be that difficult to do in this circumstance, especially with the wide net of investigation that they've laid over this case. So this is a big, big development. It's going to put the defense in a corner where they really have nothing, where they're really going to have no issues on the issue of guilty, not guilty. And that could be very, very problematic. Very, very problematic. Now, some of the other communications we heard about, again, seem to match the other evidence, which is another conversation on Discord talking about needing to retrieve the weapon, and the description of how the weapon was hidden is consistent with how investigators found it. Again, all the pieces are fitting together very well. There's only one piece that is kind of out there. We're going to talk about it a lot tonight on my show at 8:00, which is the weapon itself. Like, we never really see the weapon in any of the video, specifically in this video. You don't see it because it's covered. You have to look for it. He's got a backpack and he's got something that is covered in a blanket, which again has the DNA. The blanket was found with the weapon. You look here, you see there, right there. He just dropped it. I'll go back. There it is again. I'll try to get it just on the right spot here. Right there. Okay. Is that it right there? It has to be it. It has to be it. I don't know if he has his backpack on and this is the weapon, but you look at the shape and the length of it. It looks like it clearly could be the weapon in question. And you're looking right on the corner of the building. right on the corner. And I'll make it full screen, make it a little bit. No, it doesn't even make it bigger. Does this make it bigger? No, I can't make it bigger. Make it smaller. I'll make it a little bigger now. But this is the one piece people have been talking about. Where's the weapon? Well, there's the weapon. I mean, what else could it look at it? It appears he's holding it. It's long, and then there's like a drooping down here. But that, as has been described, it was covered in some sort of a blanket. Puts it down, gets down, grabs it, swishes it around again, and now you can see it in his right hand as he goes down. And falls down, and there. Oh, there. I just saw it again. Did you just see it? There we go. Now it appears part of it is behind him, part of it's in front, and then part is sort of drooping down, which is the excess of the blanket. That's the way I'm reading that. I'll show you one more time. Yeah, you can see. So he's clearly carrying an object. Like, that's, to me, that's not in question. Some people have questioned this. You even see it when he goes down. If I can, I'm going to go through this video. We're going to do it tonight, but if you look right there, if you look closely, I know it's not easy. I should have zoomed in. Let me see if I can do this. All right, let me bring in image. 1 second. Keeping everything, all these cases I do, keeping stuff organized, not easy. All right. Here's a freeze of it. Blurry, correct. But if you look, you can see the body. Halfway through, you see the black extended. I wish I could put a laser pointer on it for you. All right, let me do this 1 second. I'm going to try to make it even better. Even more betterer. Where is it? Here we go. Put it right here. 1 second. I'll have it for you in 1 second. I'm just trying to manipulate the video just so you can see it a little better. And then I can maybe the I almost have it. I almost have it for you. 1 second. Doing this on the fly. All right, let me try it. Image. I don't know if that helps you or not. But if you look in this part, it's as he's going down the side of the building, you can see at that moment it's being held horizontally. So you can kind of see the length of it. And it looks like a piece of it is going behind him as well. Let's get back to the video. We'll show it on the video. Let's go back. There he is. And then he's running off with it. This is another one. This is more of a zoom in, I guess. Again, to me, it's clear that he's, again, oh, right there's another spot where it kind of is held up against the white where you can really see it. Right when he whips it around there, almost. Look at that. Look at that. That looked like a weapon to me. And there's several times in the video. So to me, that was the only question that, a lot of the people who had alternative theories on this were wondering, where's the weapon? We never see the weapon. We're going to deal with it at 8 o'clock. And we're going to find out a lot more about the weapon. We're going to bring in a firearms expert to talk about that particular model. Questions about how he brought it in, and here's how I believe it's being taken out. And again, he's struggling with it a little bit. He's maneuvering it because now he knows he's going to be in front of people. He doesn't want to scare anyone. Or he doesn't want anyone to see the evidence. So now he's walking away, doing a little jaywalking. That's where the video ends. But he ends up going across, and you can see all these trees here. It's in some wooded area close by where it was purportedly left. All right. So, you take all the video, the DNA, the alleged admission, the confession, you start putting it all together. And there you go. The pieces are all there. So what does this do to a case, to a trial? And I've seen, so many cases like this on court TV, cases where the evidence seems overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming, but the defense will always have some sort of a case. They will say, in this case, oh, he's just bragging, he's just trying to show off to impress his friends, his like-minded friends. But, oh, yeah, it was me. I did it, trying to become the big man on campus when, in fact, he didn't do it. And, that may be what they, argue to the jury. But really what the case becomes about, if they seek the ultimate punishment, which is the D-pen, right? For the defense, it becomes really about laying the foundation during the guilt phase and then following up in the penalty phase to give the jury a reason to save his life, to spare his life, that this wasn't the worst of the worst. So, and they'll have reasonable arguments because, in this case, we are measuring this. If you get to that phase of the trial, you're measuring, who's the worst of the worst of the worst versus just who's the worst of normal people, but who's the worst of the worst of the worst. So that's what it becomes about. I'm sure it'll be a lot about his age. They'll bring in an expert talking about how the male mind doesn't fully form till age 25 or 26. I've seen that a million times. It may talk about him being, radicalized by, spending so much time inside his little bubble of like-minded people and, just took it to the extreme. And because of his mental illness and being around people who were like-minded, it led to this. I'm sure they'll bring in his roommate, who was a male transitioning to female, who was described as his boyfriend. So, you've got all of that. You've got people close to him, according to investigators, talking about how in the last couple of years, he's become very extreme in his political beliefs. And while that relates to motive, it could also lay the foundation for the defense to try to spare his life, that he was under some sort of mental illness, which, I don't think he was being treated for anything. So it's always more difficult to do that, but it's not to the case of where you're talking about legal insanity, but you're talking about some level of diminished mental abilities that lead to this break, that lead to this extreme behavior. It's not a defense, but a way to potentially mitigate the damage. So he ends up with life rather than ending up on the row. So What all this evidence does is, I think, really transforms the case into a much different case. It's not going to be a whodunit at trial. I think the defense will have a hard time, if this evidence is what it purports to be, to say somebody else did it. Mistaken identity. I mean, he's even joking about it, that his doppelganger is trying to get him, caught up. And like, he's admitting that the images of the video look just like him. So, all right, let's get to some of the comments and questions, because it's late in the afternoon and I've got a show I've got to get ready for tonight. And so Elise was asking early on, does he have a lawyer? He'll have a lawyer tomorrow. Did he confess to the lawyer? If he did, that's inadmissible to the cops. The governor is saying no. Social media, yes. A very specific app, but not public social media. It's more of a closed social media where you are communicating with a limited number of people that are together for a reason. So thank you, Elise. Let's see. What else do we have? Ashley Bouchard, one member of our mod squad, who admits to something in writing and expects not to be caught. Well, I think the walls were closing in at this point, because this is just before he surrenders or admits. So I think at this point he knows that the people close to him know, like his family knows that it's him. So that's why I think he would do it, because this is his last, and this is something that a psychiatrist might get into. This might be his last opportunity to sort of puff his chest to be some sort of Mangione-esque type hero for his community, right? His community that has all these similar beliefs. So that may be why. Dana on Facebook, Bernhoff Figlioli. He has not confessed to the police, no, and is not complying, correct. And that's not going to help him. What would help him the most right now, right, if all this other evidence exists, is to cooperate as much and as quickly as possible, because cooperation is, in fact, a mitigating factor. It's the most powerful of all mitigating factors when it comes to sentencing. Acknowledge what you did, acknowledge the wrongfulness of what you did, and cooperate in leading everyone to the truth. That's the only way you can. That's the way you can help yourself the most on the back end of any case where you're guilty, right? So that presumes all this evidence is there, it's real, and he factually is guilty, right? Then the best way to help yourself on the back end, and there's a lot at stake on the back end. I mean, it's everything is at stake. He's in his early 20s. Does he want to make it to his mid 30s? Does he want to make it to 30? Does he want to avoid a firing squad? Because they have it in Utah. Well, then cooperate, confess, cooperate. You can do it through your lawyer. But that's I think that's all he has, unless there's some mental illness there. But I haven't heard anything about the mental illness. It's not going to be legal insanity. That's just not going to work in this case. There's too much that he did to cover up his tracks, which shows his consciousness. Plus, you are in Utah. You don't have classic legal insanity in Utah. You don't have the old right from wrong. So even if this was a case where he believed that he was saving the world from some, evil power and he was doing good, that's not a legal insanity defense in Utah. Just doesn't work that way. Lori Saraki Brown, what's your shirt say? All right, well, this is my allegedly shirt, which is has nothing to do with this particular case, although it does have to do with this case because everything is just being alleged against him. But it's one of the items that is available in my true crime merchandise shop.
And a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug. A new design from Vinny is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinny originally. Our tangent stuff is great, unlike any others. Buy it now, don't wait. Perfect for all you mothers. True crime merch, allegedly. True crime merch, stepped on a bee. True crime merch, it's not free. True crime merch from Vinny originally.
All right, Vinny Originality, True Crime Merch Shop. Here's one of the new items that we have. On the front, which way do we got there? Not guilty, but on the back, not innocent. I know someone down in Orlando that could wear that. Oh, no, now in Tennessee that could wear that one. Anyway, all right, let me get rid of that and pop this back up. All right. Getting back to some of the questions. Oh, this is from Alba, a super sticker. Thank you, Alba. Appreciate it. Wow. Oh, I got an itch right here, Alba. Wow, fantastic. Let's see. Okay. Tafster 1, I'm from the UK, can understand why you all have guns. Well, it's probably because of you guys. It's probably because of you guys, King George, and his taxes. And then we had to declare our independence and then form a constitution, which included a Second Amendment to protect us from, I don't know, you all. It's because, and I understand from the UK, we have a constitution, and the Second Amendment provides that right to all citizens. And we could debate this thing, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but it is what it is. It's the law. Like the Constitution is the founding documents of the country. To overturn an amendment to the Constitution, it can be done, but it takes a lot to get there, and it takes years to attempt to do it. And just from a realistic perspective, it's not going to happen. So that's why. It's because of that we have the Second Amendment, which is part of our Constitution, which is the founding document of our republic. Okay. Now, this is an interesting aspect of it. The FBI is saying there were more people involved. Well, we'll see. I think we need a little more clarification on that, because is it just people who are in the Discord conversation, or are there other people who are planning and plotting and taking a step towards that, right? So to get someone on conspiracy, because it appears he's the only person there with the weapon at the time, right? Unless there were other people there that day that were doing something else along the lines of this. I don't know. But if they're talking about doing this, and if they're planning this together, and everyone has to be held responsible under conspiracy, you have to take some. In each state, their conspiracy law is a little different. I have to check Utah, but generally you have to be part of the agreement. And then this is how it is in federal law for sure, is to take some step towards that plan, right? So you can plan to do something, but then you have to actually do something towards towards accomplishing what you've planned to do. Just a small little something. And if it's like providing a map or providing information or whatever it is, that is part of it. That is part of it. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, there's a continuing investigation, but the continuing investigation is twofold. One is to see, did anyone know about this? All right. That's knowing about it, not necessarily a crime. Did someone know about it and was part of the conspiracy? Yes, that's a big part of it. And they're also still collecting all the evidence just to get him, despite the fact that you likely have a confession here on Discord. And you've got all the other evidence they've been talking about, the DNA, plus the videos, plus the digital that you're going to have. You've got so much here, so much. Let's see. Yeah. Inside Edition. Yeah, we talked about this, or I posted about this, I think, somewhere. I was looking at Inside Edition. They said he left one saying a note saying, I have a chance to get CK and I'm going to take it. But it was Inside Edition. I don't normally watch, but I was flipping channels and they were talking about it. Right. So this is the one where we believe it's a note, but it may be destroyed to some extent, but they're able to forensically recreate it. Now, sometimes with notes, you can, if someone's literally writing it on a piece of paper, the next sheet of paper might have the imprints from the note, even if the note is destroyed, right? That's one way. Or you're literally putting pieces together. We'll see. And who destroyed it, by the way? If it was destroyed, could have been destroyed by him. Oh, look at this. Dan Johnson on the case. Thank you, Dan. Got my Vinny Person of Interest shirt yesterday. Great quality. Yes, I love the Person of Interest. And everything comes in different colors. Lots of nice colors. Oh, let me show you one. I just got... my pink allegedly. I wore it the other day. I think I wore it on one of the Tangent podcasts. But it's a nice color. Very nice. Very nice. Very classy. Classy. It's a classy operation. All right. Here's Charmaine Fugate. No deals. Yeah. Here are my thoughts about that. I think everyone's agreeing. No deal. Bumpy Johnson. Great photo. Thunder Maiden. No deal. So this is the only reason why I think I'm just wondering. The governor talked about it twice before they captured the suspect. Once they captured the suspect, the circumstances surrounding the capture of the suspect involved his father. Zuko chiming in. Zuko has entered the chat. So I can't concentrate when he's yelling at me. So where was I? He totally distracted me. Totally distracted me. I lost my train of thought. Oh, the deal. The only way you get a deal is if The deal was talked about as part of the surrender. It may not have been. Unabomber it was when his brother turned him in. So I could see that because and the governor did not discuss it after they got him. That whole issue was disappeared. But it may have disappeared because maybe it would be inappropriate to talk about it at that moment. Right? I don't know. But we should find out a lot tomorrow if they're still going to seek it. Now, if there's a deal, that's obviously what the deal would be. It'll be life. It wouldn't be the alternative. And he just admits to it all. That would be the deal. I have a feeling they're not going to do that in Utah. And I have a feeling it would not be necessarily popular. I don't know what Erica has said, if she said anything about that, about what the punishment. Sometimes the family can have influence. The family will always be consulted, usually by good prosecutors. Like in Idaho, they consulted with the families. The families didn't agree. It was split 2-2, but either way, 2 were not going to get what they wanted in the case. Here, there's a single voice that it's going to be, Erica, whatever Erica Kirk says, that would be the thoughts from the perspective of the victim. I think that'll be part of the mix. Now, the other part of this is that this does become, because of the nature of the case, it's more political than Idaho. So there's more ramifications either way, deal, no deal. There still will be more blowback than there would have been than there was for Idaho. Even though there was a lot for Idaho, there'll be a lot more for this. But if the widow says no, prosecutors can lean on that heavily, and say, listen, we just wanted to end it. The family, Erica, did not want us to seek it. We make the decision on our own, but we respect her opinion. And we came to the conclusion that we would offer him this deal. We might end up there. But if Erica says, no deal, if she says no deal, my guess is there will be no deal. Because that's going to be a bad look, a tough sell. It's a very public assassination is what it is, in front of 3,000 people. All these other people were in danger. And the whole thing is recorded on video. He knows that. He knows the cameras are rolling. So you put all those pieces together. Oh, mystery singer. I like the way you put this. Deal would mean no unalive penalty. Yes. No UP unalive penalty. Very good. Very, very good. All right. All right. We have time for a few more. Some good conversations taking place. I'm kind of like jumping in on those. All right. Zuko has entered the room now. He's trying to get my attention. Tina just got here. Wanted to say hi, everyone. Hi, Tina. Everyone say hi, Tina. This is interesting from Shelby Bubba. There were 2 videos out there that said, that's kind of weird this is happening. And then shortly the chaos started. But there's hundreds of videos, right? Rolling at the time from all different perspectives with people saying things. To me, that's the investigation, right? They're going to look at all of that, listen to all of that, follow every potential lead just to see if anyone else was involved. If there was anyone else supporting this. And Brandy Elizabeth Phillips, they better not offer plea deal to him. I still feel heavy-hearted from this. Yeah. And over on Twitch, Bug X Party, what about the rumors it was an inside job for La K of inside? Who's inside on this one? So it seems really clear from the evidence we have that this guy was acting like, if this Discord stuff is legit, you know, whatever was going on mentally with him took him to that place. Now we know that his ideology had shifted hard, and he did not like Charlie Kirk or what he believed he stood for, which is really weird because it's a guy going on college campuses debating, right? Right? I'm debating. You don't like what I stand for. All right, debate me. That's the way we do it in the United States of America. Karma D Harma, or Karmad Harma, or Karmad Harma. Karmad Harma. I've tried it I don't know which way it is, but I'm going to go with Karmad Harma. Why did Charlie's shirt kick up? Okay. I think what happened, if you look at the slow-mo, is you can see the little black speck that appears to be the projectile. I think the projectile hits him right where his vest is, his protective vest. So it kind of hits the corner of it and makes him go like that. And when he goes like that, you can see the shirt go out because of the vest. And unfortunately, it creates the ricochet to his neck. And if you want, it might actually be this way. It goes from like this to this, or this to this. I think it was like, yeah, I think it was, you can see the black speck. It goes straight there. From there, the way it sort of ricocheted. So I think it was because of, it kicked up because of the vest. He gets struck. I mean, the impact of that is real. That throws him back like this, and it just so happened that the projectile hits the corner of the vest. So instead of bouncing off or bouncing away, it kicks up into his neck. Per TIR show last night, the gun belonged to his grandfather. That would make sense. It's an old time hunting gun. Right? It's been around since like 1908. That makes sense. All right. And Gen X, part of our mod squad, reminding everyone, hit the, if you've forgotten, we appreciate your summertime up.
The mod squad, keeping order in the chat. The mod squad, spotting trolls who attack. Oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Biggs making sure they're keeping it clean. Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. We are the mod squad, cleaning up the mess. The mod squad, simply the best. The mod squad.
Thank you to the mod squad. Now, so it gives me an opportunity to go through the chat as we get ready to wrap things up. Got to be a little quicker today because I get to work. Jennifer Lego, please give Cody Thomas a shout out for his tremendous reporting. Of course, Jennifer, thank you so much. Cody Thomas joins me on Court TV, chasing down the stories. He was just down in Orlando with Mark O'Mara on a case. This could be a trial in January. He's on the road all the time, all of the time. All right. Let's see what we've got here.
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
And a big thank you to April Diaz. Let's take a look. I don't believe the hand signals thing. Gen X had a good point the other day. You don't stand behind a target. Also, hello to all of you. And I get a lot of compliments from my person of interest shirt, mainly from cops. Yes, you can be stopped by police while wearing that. You are a person of interest. Thank you, April Diaz. Yeah, there's a whole world taking place right on this case online, because everything is there, including the crime itself. There's been a pretty fair amount of transparency so far in this case, both from the FBI and from the governor. I don't think that I'm not buying this whole inside thing with the hamstring. I mean, you take any video, slow it down, and anything. I mean, you can look for things. Gen X making a point, you don't stand behind the target. Like, you're going to trust this kid to do it, or you're saying this kid didn't do it? Is that what you're saying? This kid didn't do it? I mean, you need to show me something inconsistent with, like, the obvious suspect here. Show me something that's inconsistent with him doing it. Like, it seems he's troubled to a certain extent. He's in this relationship. He drops out of college after a semester after earning a scholarship, right? He has a scholarship for 4 years, drops out of college. So things, his life is not great. He seems to be in kind of a strange place. We see him walking. We see him doing all the things that are, like, every piece is fitting together. So how you get more out of that, I'm not sure. Chris Jenner, that little black speck is a mic he had on that was connected to his TikTok stream. When the bullet hit his shirt, other side of his collar, the mic flew off. There was no ricochet. Yeah, it may not have been like. I'm wondering what's going on. I see the vest go up before he is struck here. Like, the timing of it is before. Like, I see this movement before anything hits his neck. So that's why I was thinking the ricochet made some sense to me. But if you see something different, it may very well be different. We need an expert to put those pieces together for us. Monica Link asking, hey, Vinny, have you heard an update of the 19-year-old who went trampling through Charlie's memorial outside the TP USA headquarters in Phoenix? See you at 8. No, the only thing I saw, the 19-year-old that did get arrested for it and was wearing a similar shirt that the suspect was wearing that day. Mm-hmm. Welsh girl. Hey, Vinny, watch from the UK. Love all your shows. Do you think he will confess to police? If he does, I think it'll be through a guilty plea, and it'll be through his lawyer. There may be a proffer through his lawyer. At this point, there's not going to be your traditional sit down with police and confess situation. If it hasn't happened already, that's usually when you're first in custody. They're bringing him into court. He has rights now. And there's going to be a lawyer that has either stepped in already or will step in there and not permit that to happen. So I do not believe that he will confess to police at this point. But at this point of the proceedings, it's difficult to confess to police. You can work something out with your lawyer where you make a proffer of what you believe in exchange for something. Or you can just go into court and admit what you did. But the police interrogation part of this case, we're past that. We're past that. All right. I'm past the time where I can be here. Big thanks for super chats. Thank you for the great conversation. Thank you to our mod squad. Don't forget to watch me tonight at 8 o'clock on Court TV. I don't have time for the blood. Let's do it real quick. We'll do it real quick, folks. I'm type 1 diabetic. We give away prizes at the end of the quarter for whoever guesses correctly the most times. What is my blood sugar?
It's a type 1. He's type 1. His pancreas is on first. He has diabetes, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? Under 70, he gets lightheaded. Under 60, all the alarms start ringing. Over 180, he starts to get lethargic. But when it's 90, Vinny, eyes are singing. And so it's time to guess, is more or less.
Alicia, congratulations.
What's his blood sugar?
Mark it down. Alicia is our winner as we are quickly getting to the end of the third quarter here. So mark it down. I don't know if this is her first or second win. Check the tote board here. Let's take a look. I think I've all written down here somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, yeah, Q3. So we had 915, 121. Alicia, congratulations, Alicia. Nice allegedly shirt. All right, folks, that is it. Again, thank you to everyone. Great to see you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight on Court TV. In the meantime, please don't forget to hug the kids.
Say goodbye. Thank you for watching Vinny Live. We'll be back, but I don't know when. We hope that you will watch again. Vinny Live. It's Vinny Live. Whoa, it's Vinny Live. To our awesome mosh. Thank you for those super chats. Please hit the like and do subscribe. Let's do it again on Vinny Live. Now before you go, just one more thing. Please post below, say anything. Whoa,
Before you go, just one more thing. Please post below. Say anything.